Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. For those that are going to be watching this on YouTube, I'd like to apologise for my eyes. It's not because I've been celebrating 420 too much or hanging out with Rob Van Dam. Hay fever. That is the truth. So I thought let the listeners know, but it's not going to ruin the interview. Still going to be a good one. Today's guest is based out of Vancouver, Canada. Pro wrestler, filmmaker, burlesque dancer. She can do it all. Please welcome everyone's favourite MILF. Therefore, I'll be saying that in an intro. Rebel Showgirl, Calamity Kate. How you doing today? You okay?
Hi, yeah, I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. I'm all good. Recording this in the evening and it's morning for you, and so I do appreciate it
Yeah.
coming on. We actually had this arranged, I think, like last year, but I'm not sure what happened. But I'm glad to have you on. I actually want to touch on being a burlesque dancer first before I discuss wrestling, because I think it'd be quite interesting and cool for the listeners to hear. I'd like to know first, because I think there's actually quite more similarities than people think between that and wrestling. So I'd like to know, how long have you been doing it? Because you've been doing it before wrestling, haven't you?
Yeah, well, first of all, I love your accent.
Thank you.
Making this interview so much fun. Um,
I'm just gonna be brushing that throughout the whole interview now. I'm just gonna be like, okay, thank you.
so I started dancing burlesque, I think in 2010, 2009.
Hmm.
Um, so I grew up dancing. I was very passionate about dance. And then as an adult, wasn't dancing as much, and I was like dying to get back to dancing. And I actually spent some time in India and Germany. And when I
Nice.
came back, I was like, something changed in me where I was like, I need to just dance all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a burlesque performer. I decided I was going to do burlesque. And I took some like burlesque classes. And then next thing you know, I was like getting booked on shows, and I toured 13 countries doing burlesque, and it just kept going and going and going. And I
Mm.
had this really incredible troupe called the Lost Girls. And um, so that's kind of how I started doing burlesque.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got into wrestling through burlesque, actually. I never thought I would be a wrestler. It was never something I dreamed about.
Hmm.
My sister was really into wrestling growing up, so I knew a bit about wrestling
Oh,
in
okay.
the
So you wasn't
90s.
actually like a die-hard fan, sort of growing up for when it comes to wrestling.
No, but like I knew about it through my sister, my cousins, and like I remember having like little boyfriends when I was young, and they would be like suplex and like throw me, and I'm like, what the hell?
Nothing says true love like a good suplex.
Yeah, now I could actually give them a suplex. But so it never was like in the cards for me. And then I had an opportunity to go to wrestling training randomly. And so I went and got in the ring because like I did taekwondo growing up, and
Hmm.
my sister and I like shoot wrestled in terms of like siblings wrestling and like fighting each other. We would like just
Is there anything you can't
wrestle
do?
each other.
Taekwondo is another one to add. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I was a green belt in Taekwondo. So I got in the ring and I was like, oh wow, like I should have been doing this like so long ago. Like it was
Yeah.
just like it clicked for me finally, and I was like, I get it. I get why people love wrestling. And
Mm.
then so I came into wrestling a bit late in life, but I like ever since I've been
You just
trying
cooked though
to,
straight away.
yeah, it just clicked for me straight away, and I just fell in love with it and
Hmm.
like started watching it, started learning about wrestlers and wrestling
Mm.
history, and obviously like training to be a wrestler. And I think having that burlesque background,
I
like
can imagine that making that transition from burlesque into wrestling quite natural in a way because
it
obviously it's it's showroom and entertainment, but also you have to be skilled.
exactly. Yeah, it was like, it's costume, it's theater, it's
Hmm.
character, it's storytelling, it's physicality, it's pushing your body to do things that like you didn't know your body could do.
Hmm.
And so I loved that. And like where burlesque is sometimes like and it like when you're doing like female burlesque, it's like a caricature of a woman. It's like big eyelashes, big
Yeah.
lips, you know, like curves,
Very
accentuated.
exaggerated, yeah.
Yeah, and like when you think of like wrestling, like these big like roided like muscly men, and it's like super macho. It's like the caricature of a man. So it's like they're both like caricatures in a way.
Mm,
So it felt like a easy transition, and just like having that experience performing in front of a an audience, I think really helped me. And because it's wrestling's entertainment at the end of the day. It is a sport. It's a very
yeah.
serious
Sports
sport.
based, but it's sports entertainment, isn't it? It's
But it's sports entertainment. Yeah, I mean, and you can get really hurt. I mean, wrestling, people always say like wrestling's not real, right? I'm like, no, no, no. Wrestling's real. Like
mm,
gravity is real. Everything we're doing, like when I'm getting hit,
it does
when
hurt.
I'm hitting that mat, I think I got a concussion last night because
Bloody
Kikyo
hell.
like beat the crap out of
And
me.
you remember to the show. Fair play to you with the concussion. Yeah. I hope that after it's not serious, and if it is, I do hope you get seen to soon.
Well, I think it was like a small concussion, but I definitely like threw up after, and then ever like my old coach Kasaki was like, maybe you have a concussion. I'm like, I don't know. So I'm just monitoring myself right now. So if I say something stupid, I'm blaming it on the concussion.
But I say something stupid every time, so it's fine. When did you make your wrestling debut?
I made my wrestling debut at a wrestling show in Vancouver
Hmm.
called Glam Slam. Um, at the time they were mixing burlesque and wrestling together. They're not doing that anymore. I don't know what they're doing now, but that was my debut. And then the funny thing is that a promoter in Mexico saw, so I don't know, someone posted the video of our match online, and a promoter from Mexico saw the match on Facebook and reached out to me and was like, I want to fly you to Mexico. And I was like, no, I suck. Like, didn't you see that match? Like, I suck. I've only done one match. And I was like, I did that match earlier that like than I like was really ready for.
Yeah.
Um, but he like flew me to Mexico, and like I wrestled these really amazing like Mexican women.
Hmm.
Um, and I was terrified because everyone was telling me like, they're gonna kill you, like they're gonna hit you
Mm.
hard.
Especially
You
like
know,
it being your second match ever
yeah.
in
But they
another
were so
country. Must have been
they were
terrifying.
wonderful. Like just worked with me, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and yeah. So then after that, I was like, oh wow, okay, like I gotta keep going here.
And you would actually come to the UK. We talked about it just before recording. You have wrestled over here, so I'd like to know because if the accent doesn't give away, I'm in the UK, London, well, Essex, but it's easy to say near London. So I'd like to know about your time in the UK, the wrestling scene, just your overall experience, just being there and wrestling.
Yeah, so I wrestled. I came to I came to London a couple times to wrestle for British Empire Wrestling, BEW.
Hmm.
And I wrestled in London and in some towns outside of London. I forget off the top of my head. I'm really sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I can find out. Hold on, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Give
Well,
me one.
while you're looking, I'll just talk about it a bit more.
Yeah,
And
yeah, of
so
course.
I like London is my absolute favorite city in the world. Like I've been to like close to 40 countries. Like I've
Hmm.
seen a lot of different cities, and London is like my top. Just the history, and the people are so great, and the pub culture I just love.
They
Like
do. They love a pub and the beer as well, and we can drink over here. We just.
you guys can drink. I was like, wow. Like
I mean, I'm
it's
probably not
so
the best part of
funny.
that example of being like your typical English drinker, but in general, like you just go to the pub. What the hell? Just it's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I'm Welsh and Ukrainian, so like the Welsh in me was like Welsh Irish. The Welsh Irish in me was like, yeah, these are my people. Like they can drink.
Love it here. And what do you
Yeah.
guys?
So yeah, and I love like just love England. And so like the first time I went I took some time to like tour around the country. And I
Hmm.
went to Wales and I went to Ireland as well, and like it was so much fun. Yeah. And actually, when I was wrestling on British Empire Wrestling, there's a wrestler named oh my God, why am I forgetting her name? Rhiannon. uh Sorry, I feel so bad. I think it's the
So
concussion
I've
and
got
it's
some of the
early in the
details here.
morning.
I was going to get the locations, but if it does help, I'm just going to throw some names. Kat Von Cage, is that one of them?
Yes. Kat Von Cage, exactly. Thank you. So it turns out Kat Von Cage is from this like small Welsh city in the middle of Wales
Hmm.
that my family's from, called Merthyr Tydfil. Tydfil.
That is a
And
small world,
I
isn't it?
was like, "Are you related to any Mahonies or Davies?" She's like, "Yeah, both." And so we're like, "Oh, we're cousins." I just thought that was really neat.
I
So
mean, the opponents
like,
for tonight, but my cousins like before and after the match.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did fight, and we're cool afterwards. So yeah.
Oh dear. So that's but you had good experience of the UK. I've not actually heard anyone say that's come from Canada or America or whatever, actually really bad mouth the UK, to be honest. Like you all kind of find us quite posh in a way, but we're far from it. Like really, like
Yeah.
I'd say like Mr. Bean's quite a good representation. Like everyone thinks, oh, Will, the Queen and the family and like, the royal family automatically assume that when it's just like, nah, nah. Just go to one
Yeah.
of those pubs and find out.
Totally. Yeah, I find like people from the UK are so down to earth.
Yeah.
Just really cool, down to earth people. And like, yeah, I would move there in a heartbeat.
I found the places, by the way. So I've got
Oh,
So they are actually Greater London though. So we've got Merton, Greater London. Even I've not been there, fortunately, but that is still in London. And where was the other one? Mitcham, Greater London. I've never been there either. But it's still London though, so
there's
that's the main thing. But
no, there was some other towns. I can't remember. I love Mitcham in the south.
hmm,
I spent a lot of time down there.
good old cage match that was. But no, no, that's cool though. So I want to talk about the wrestling scene in Canada. So I'd like to know what would you say kind of separates Canada from the rest of the world, just based on wrestling. So I know a lot of people would associate Canada straight away. Bret Hart, the Hart family in general,
Mhm.
and Trish Stratus and a few others. But for those that work within Canada to this day, what would you say are some of your best qualities?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I can even answer that, to be honest. I mean, I think we were all really inspired growing up by the Hart family, at least like coming from the west side of Canada.
Hmm.
And I grew up, I don't know, like 5 hours away from Calgary, where the Hart family's from, and Stampede Wrestling. And so like we did always look up to the Hart family. Even like I remember not being totally into wrestling, but
Yeah.
knowing the Hart family and like really loving and respecting them. And I think that's something like that I think all of us take with us growing up. I think that's what we took. Um I don't really know what makes us
Well,
different,
that
to
kind
be
of fits
honest. I
got that
feel
question
like
though. That's yeah.
we're such a large country. It's the unfortunate thing is like you have to drive so far
Hmm.
to like wrestle different towns. Where in, like in the UK, for example, everything's so much closer together. The towns are closer
Yeah,
together.
tubes, cabs, literally driving. Although driving London, oh, don't wish it on anyone, like nightmare. But in
Yeah.
general, like everything is kind of connected really well. It'll literally take you like probably 6 hours just to get to like another
Mhm.
country in terms of Scotland. But Wales, say like I don't know, an hour and a half away from London. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think that it makes things a little more difficult for us because it's like,
Hmm.
okay, I have to drive like 5 hours, go do a show, and then like drive 5 hours home that night.
Yeah.
Or drive to Seattle 3 hours, or Portland, 6 hours, 7 hours. So um it's like a lot further to get to different wrestling towns. So it makes it more difficult, but we power through and like
Hmm.
have fun road trips, I guess. Um,
Good way to make friends, is it, as well, when sort of bounce each other in terms of like ideas and getting to know each other.
yeah, definitely. Lots of hours in cars with each other. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put my headphones on now.
Yeah.
um, but I want to talk about your promotion in Canada, WrestleCore. I
Mhm.
don't think I actually said it in the intro. It's another thing that you're good at. It's a co-owner, WrestleCore. So I'd like to know what's it like being an owner to begin with, and what do you find have been some difficult or challenges in terms of running a promotion?
Yeah, so WrestleCore kind of started, I mean, the way that it really started was after going to and wrestling in Mexico a couple times, and
Mhm.
and me going to like local lucha libre shows or events. Like they'd have these like outdoor lucha libre events, and it's so cool to see like the people and the setup and the music and the food and everything. And we don't have any lucha libre in Vancouver. So, but my husband is a trained luchador, so he actually trained in Mexico. That's how he got his start.
Oh
My
wow!
husband's Cobra Kai.
Did you
Yeah.
meet him when you went to Mexico for your second match?
No, because
Oh,
he's
okay.
Canadian. I met him because he was my trainer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we met like 6 years ago. And but yeah, so when I came back from Mexico the second time, I was like, I really want to bring that here to Vancouver, because we,
Yeah.
like I said, we don't really have any lucha libre wrestling. So I thought, like, how fun would it be to do like an outdoor wrestling event in like a parking lot or something with music, live
Mm.
music, and tacos and beer and like
Looks quite
just
insane from what I've seen in clips and stuff. It does look like just like a big party, but it looks fun though.
it's so much fun, and it's like a whole day of festivities.
Hmm.
It's really, really fun, and we like fly up Mexican wrestlers, and there's also like Mexican luchadors from like Seattle and Portland that we bring in. And then we have our amazing local wrestlers too.
Hmm.
And so we started doing this Lucha Libre Spectacular every summer. And then my husband is just he's just such an incredible like promoter and just incredible wrestler. And he he kind of decided he wanted to start doing more shows, and so then we started putting on shows at this venue called the Rickshaw Theater in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then it just it turned into like more of a thing that we kept doing and doing and
Hmm.
doing. And so um, Cobra Kai branded it
Great name, by the way.
WrestleCore. It's a good name. Yeah, because like for us, like we wanted, it's like our shows, like we wanted to have like a gritty, like underground
Yeah.
feeling. We want it to feel
And
kind of
it's
like
quite dark. I mean,
dangerous.
quite vibrant at the same time. It's just a bit
Mhm.
circus elements to it, wrestling, theatrical, and it's just like seeing some of the horror clips as well. But I'm quite into that sort of stuff. I thought it was quite kind of made for me personally.
Well, coming because I come from a film background and then my burlesque and like theater background, like we wanted to infuse all of that into the show. So like it wasn't just like a your typical wrestling show. We wanted it to feel like an event. And we also wanted to appeal to people who normally wouldn't even go see a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's what we did. Like the majority of our audience is like first time, like people their first time going to a wrestling show, or people who like weren't really into going to see wrestling. But we provide a place for people like at the end of a like long week. You can like go have a drink,
You can
yell your head
relax.
off,
You can
get
shout. You
wild.
can boo. You can cheer. You can do what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
No
So and that's
filter.
what we wanted. And like I didn't want like no shade to any promotion that's like in a gym with like fluorescent lighting, but like
Yeah.
we didn't want that. I did a documentary called No Fun City about like underground like illegal music venues in Vancouver. And so I wanted it to have that feeling of
Mm.
like being like loud and illegal.
Hmm. Like you
Yeah.
feel like you're doing something wrong, but that's what kind of attracts you to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Kind of reminds me of like what Progress Wrestling's been in the UK, like underground, and no one really knew about it, but they did that sort of thing. It would still get good turnouts. It's like wasn't mainstream, but then it did become mainstream, and then you know everyone's got
Yeah.
their own opinions on it now. But that's cool. Though. That's really a side to it as well. You don't really see that a lot of wrestling anymore. Everyone kind of a lot of things as well. Like everyone wants to be like them. as opposed to being an individual, like separate and have their own identity, as opposed to copying, I don't know, WWE or AEW. And that's what kind of makes WrestleCore stand out. And I'd highly recommend checking out your content. It's on YouTube, and I'll put it in the description below. There is one match that I did see, and it was featuring yourself and someone who has been in the show, Kikyo, the Falling Foul.
Oh,
Get her name right. I know she hates when announcers get her name wrong. But yeah, she was a great guest. I want to ask you about the match. I thought it was fun. So, how was it wrestling the Fallen Flower?
Oh, how, like last night or
Oh, no, I'm
this
talking about
match?
last year. Did you wrestle her last night?
I wrestled her last night
Oh, well, I
and
didn't know that.
she kicked my ass.
Oh, fair enough.
She took off her
We can talk
knee
about
brace
both
and
times
hit
then.
me in
Or
the
just...
head.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think that's how I got the
You
concussion.
might not be too complimentary then. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you wrestled yourself now.
No, it's okay. Yeah, she's great.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement from your favorite tag team.
Hi, I'm Hotshot Hunter Knott,
Hello, I am Rosario Grillo.
and we are your favorite tag team, TSF, and you are watching
What do you call it?
Podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah, I heard. So we just took a quick break then, and we was talking about streaming and wrestling. You were saying about the content.
Yeah, so WrestleCore has all of our matches on Independent Wrestling TV, IWTV.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see all the matches there. You can see a burlesque match that I did with Christopher Ryzik, where I started doing a burlesque number and he interrupted me like halfway through my burlesque number. And he's like, because he's such a misogynist, he was like,
Just
I
when
don't
he's
want
telling you
to-
to get back to the kitchen, that sort of thing, and just being an absolute
Yeah.
womanizer.
And so then I kicked his ass and I continued taking my clothes off after. So
If you want to watch that match, by the way, it's out there. So
it's on IWTV. And then you could see a match that Kikyo and I did last summer at we did this show called oh my God, I think I did get a concussion because I'm like not remembering anything. We did this like carnival themed wrestling show with like clowns, and we had like a dunk tank and stuff like that. It was really fun. And Kikyo and I did a match, a staple gun match, and that was my first ever staple gun match. And I stapled her in her hoo-ha.
so glad it's not a family show. Still good.
And I stapled her forehead and she stapled me. Oh my God, it was so painful. But it was a fun match.
It's wrestling, isn't it? We can only laugh and smile and just like, yeah, we staple each other. But it's fucking great. Loved it. Let's do it again. But no, like, by the way, like I know you said about you're forgetting, but I think you're doing really well. I think the interview's been really good. It's been fair concussion as well, and I do applaud you. I respect you for all that. You actually had a WWE Hall of Famer on WrestleCore, didn't you? Trish Stratus.
Oh well, we've had Bret Hart. We've had
Bret Hart?
Trish Stratus.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see any clips of Bret Hart. Might have not looked properly, but I can't believe I missed the Hitman. Damn. But I saw the Trish part.
And on that show too, we had Santino Morelli.
Nice.
And we've had some really amazing wrestlers with us. Trey Miguel, Thunder Rosa.
She's fucking quality. She's really good.
Yeah, she's so cool and just such a cool person too. Allison Kay. There we go. We've had like Mecha Wolf and Bestia 666, who are like two of my favorite wrestlers. Terry Blanco, Puma King. Yeah, we've been lucky.
Damn good CV right there. Just like a list of names. But it's going to keep growing though. That's the main thing, and hopefully you can bring some imports from the UK. Would that be something you'd eye up from talent?
Oh my God! Well, there's someone who I keep bugging. Like, I want him to come wrestle with us so bad. So maybe he'll come, and he's from the UK, and I keep messaging.
Can you reveal who it is, or give any hints at least?
Yes, he is like so. He's like just so fabulous. He's just so great.
That's a massive
love-
giveaway right there. Fabulous.
Who is it? Who is it?
Fabulous. No, I can't. I don't know. Describe maybe their attire, if you can.
It's Neon Cassius.
It's who?
Neon Cassius.
Neon Cassius. Why does that not ring a bell? Neon Cassius.
He is like, I follow him on Instagram.
Oh
and
yeah.
obsessed with him, and I keep being like,
the face straight away. Yeah,
I'm like, come to our show, please. And so
I'm
you're
going to
listening
tag
to
it.
this,
I know, I didn't know necessarily the name, but I know the face, and I have seen a bit of the content. The Barbie poster made me laugh. No, that's good.
but I mean, I've wrestled with so many amazing women from the UK too. I'd love all of them to come. This
Yeah.
is my son's band.
Hello, mate. You alright?
Chilling with me
Oh, that's one.
in the morning.
That's times I've actually had someone's son appear on the show.
Or is it? He's a future wrestler. Take a
Second
look.
generation talent right there. I'll be having him on in 20 years.
Yeah, you'll say, "Oh, he was on my podcast."
There we go. He's just shy, and he's just shy. It's like, yeah, I'll be on there, mate. I'll wrap this up with one last question. It's a fun question, and it doesn't have to be about wrestling, but you can make it wrestling if you want. It's up to you. 3 dream dinner guests for your dream party. You're the host. It can be past, present, fictional, non-fictional, anyone.
Wrestler wise?
It could be wrestling if you want. It's up to you. It might actually allow you to give a break from wrestling as well. But if you want to keep it wrestling, because we have been talking about wrestling for the last 40 minutes, up to you. But you're the host. Give it with them there as well. There you go.
Okay. Well, definitely, I would say Luna Vachon. So
underrated. So underrated.
So underrated. Everyone says that too, and she's like
the business really did a number on her, in my opinion. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything. It really...
He agrees. But I'm actually filming a documentary right now about Luna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've interviewed a lot of people, and learning so much about her. Like, I feel like I know her. I do. I feel like I really know her just through what I'm learning, and people close to her who I've been chatting with. So I would love her at a.
That's a good answer. And I think as well, like, I just like to see her celebrate a bit more, as opposed to like the dark side being talked about her. As a kid, like, she scared me, but like that's her doing a job, you know, when she's like,
I love that.
Yeah, she's an impression. It just
she is like an inspiration on how to be a good heel.
Yeah,
and like that came from her family too. Her father, her uncle, her aunt were like very famous heels. The Vachon family. So yeah, she definitely took being a heel to the next level. And so we talk a lot about that. We talk about, you know, when Kevin Sullivan hit her and she joins the Army of Darkness and shaves her head. And so Luna would definitely be on my list, and hopefully I can come back for the documentary.
I'm just really curious now. Is there, like, do you know, and I can have a rough idea when it will be released or expected to be released?
I mean, I'm hoping it'll be finished by the end of the year, like in the end of December.
Yeah.
But I'm really taking my time with it because I'm just doing a ton of research and just wanting it to be the best. And I also had a baby while making it, so that. But definitely, like, I'll bug you because I'd love to come back. And
please. We can talk about Luna next. So I did the voice on it.
Someone was telling me, like, she would carry around a book and she would like write down like sayings in the book. And like one of her sayings was, "My clit is bigger than your dick." That's so Luna. I don't know.
So glad it's not family show this podcast.
You can cut that out if you want.
No, it's absolutely fine. I won't put it in the top. My clit is bigger than your dick. So number 2. So I'm so mature. So the second guest.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna like probably name a lot of people who aren't here anymore. I'm gonna say Owen Hart.
Yeah,
because it seemed from what I hear that he had such a big heart.
Hmm.
Like, no pun
No pun
intended.
intended. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just as a person and like I'd have so many like questions for him. And he seemed like a really good dad from from like the home video footage that I've seen. Like he just seemed like a great human.
Fun fact: I've got an Owen Hart tattoo.
What's that?
I've got an Owen Hart tattoo.
Oh, you do?
Not like a portrait, but just his boot with the logo when he had the rocket.
Where?
It's.
You
I don't
show
know if I
it?
can hold it up. Hold on. There. I don't know if you can see it there.
Oh, that is so cool.
First
I
time I'm
love
showing that,
that.
by the way. First time I'm showing that. I don't know if it works there better. There, so that's better.
That's cool. Oh,
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
bit of a nerd.
And you know who else I would love to go to dinner with is The Rock. I think because we both come from like a film, like we both work in film
Yeah.
and also wrestling. So I think we'd have a lot to talk about.
I think that'd be great. But is it going to be Dwayne or is it going to be The Rock? Is he going to talk third person or is he going to be Hollywood Rock? You know, just is it going to be like, finally, you know, or is he just going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
so the Lunar on when's the documentary? Like,
Yeah. Well, I would hope that he'd be Dwayne, I think. I'd like to talk to Dwayne, the person.
I
And,
reckon he's like really nice. I just, I feel I've got a bit of a man crush on The Rock. I'm not going to lie.
he's hot. Yes, I have such a crush on him. But and actually it's really funny because Luna's dad was really close with the Rock's family.
Oh, well,
So
what's it, Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson?
yeah, and like the Samoan side, and
Hmm.
there's like a picture of Luna's dad, like The Rock's sitting on Luna's dad's knee, like as a child.
Oh, nice.
There's like a little connection there, and there's a little connection between Owen and Luna, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. Owen Hart, The Rock, and Luna Vachon. I really like that.
Mhm.
It's a good lineup as well. Just a lot of that is my childhood. If I'll be honest, I'm gonna just makes me smile. But as we are gonna wrap this up, I want to thank you for coming on. Really have enjoyed it. Genuinely have. I think I've actually been laughing too much. But it's been a really good chat, and I like that. Just be able to like
Yeah,
relax and switch off, and not be too serious about this. You know, that's what wrestling should be. Fun.
yeah,
But
fun.
if there's anything you want to promote, anything you got lined up, or anything you want to say, as we are now at the end of the interview, now's your time to shine.
Well, you can follow me on all social medias, Calamity Kate Showgirl on Instagram, and I think Miss Calamity Kate on Twitter, um, and Calamity Kate on Facebook. I think I'm on TikTok. Yeah, I'm on TikTok, but I think I have like 10 followers. So like, be my 11th.
I don't have
Uh,
TikTok, but if any of my followers want to be that 11th and 12th and so on, do so, please.
and wrestlecore.ca is our promotion.
Mhm.
If anyone ever wants to come to Vancouver and come to one of our shows, like reach out to me. And yeah, go to IWTV to watch our footage. We have a show coming up here in Vancouver on June 9th. It's a Wizard of Oz themed wrestling show.
Nice.
And I might be the Wicked Witch of the West, which is exactly what my husband thinks I am.
Never says I love you. Like, yeah, you're the wicked.
And I might do some burlesque and wrestle. So we'll see. And then we have the Lucha Libre Spectacular coming up in August. So you can just like go on Facebook, search Lucha Libre Spectacular. And yeah, keep your eyes open for the Luna Vachon documentary. It's called Lunatic. But
100%.
hopefully I'll be back to talk to you about that.
100%. And I'll try not to do the impression. It's not even that good, but
No, the impression's great. I love that everyone does the impression.
it's like that and Dusty, but I can't really do Dusty. But any guest I have, for example, that know Dusty, I make sure they do it at least. If like you met Dusty, you've worked with him, Dusty now, or we call this a day. But no, I'm looking forward to. Please do like keep me up to date with it, and I'll have you back on to discuss it in more detail and like the actual process of it and go into more explanation because I think that's gonna be awesome. And I think a younger generation now, they kind of forget who she was a little bit, and then Dark Side of the Ring, while it did focus on her, was kind of the downs. We should be celebrating her life and really appreciating how awesome she was and ahead of her time. And her peers always talk high of her, and I like that. But
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. Everyone's favourite MILF, Rebel Showgirl, Calamity Kate. You've been a great guest. Shout out to your son as well. And your husband might be sleeping or not. But it's been a brilliant episode. If everyone can like, share, and subscribe to this account, that'd be much appreciated. And I'll have more guests lined up very shortly. Hopefully it'll be as good as this one because I've generally been cracking up. I actually showed you all with the own heart tattoo. Happy days. First time. There you go. But for now, everyone, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, as I will. And take care. Peace.